Hello, welcome everyone to a brand new episode of Johnson's Court. Today, I do not have Mr. Beagle on with me. This man did get tested positive for COVID earlier this week and just hasn't been feeling the best. So, prayers to him, and hopefully he gets to feeling better. And hopefully next week he can get back on here and he can debate and talk with me about week number 5. So we're going to go straight into week 4. And we are going to talk about NFL injuries. We're going to talk about someone who's becoming the front runner today, and then we'll go straight into our picks. Unfortunately, Beagle did not give me his picks yet. Like I said, he's got COVID, so he's probably going through ringer right now and just trying to feel better. So, but last week I went 8-8, and Beagle went 8-8 as well. So not a horrible record by any means. 500 really, but my total is 22 wins. 25 losses and 1 tie. He is beating me still currently at 26 wins, 21 losses, and 1 tie. So like I said, something needs to happen. Not too drastically, but we have to disagree on some picks and my picks would have to win. But who knows? He has been he started off beating me from the beginning, and I might stay away for the rest of the season. I don't know. We will find out and see. But let's talk about the NFL injuries. Now, we had a really good game versus the Buffalo Bills and the Miami Dolphins. Tua, I saw the hit. He got hit. It didn't really seem too hard, but he got tackled after he threw the ball. And he came out of the game, and apparently he had a back injury, went to the locker room, and then came back out and continued to play as well. So it didn't seem like it was too bad. I don't know if it's just bad. Like, what exactly? Maybe I have no idea. They just said back problems, so I can speculate all I want, but I'm gonna have no idea what exactly they're talking about. So we'll see if Tua plays in this upcoming week. Well, actually, tomorrow is when they play. So we'll see how he does and how he's able to go through warm-ups and things like that. Then you also have Mac Jones, who has a high severe ankle injury and is out 4 to 6 weeks. Now, with that being said, this definitely is going to hurt the Patriots' chances of making the playoffs. Now, personally, I didn't have them making the playoffs anyways this year, but if they really want to push, I don't know who their backup quarterback is. I could look it up real quick, but I honestly don't care. So, I just think that hurts the Patriots' chance, especially with their young QB who is going to be their QB for many years to come. But, ankle injuries are nothing to play with, boy. I know that. Everybody knows that. And they're just going to have to, hopefully tread water, survive above water until he comes back, just like the Dallas Cowboys are doing somehow. Now we have an MVP front runner. We have a new front runner. This guy is balling because he wants a new contract. This guy is showing that he deserves to be signed to a max deal. He knows how much money he wants, and he's going to get that much money. He's going to get what he deserves. So, Lamar Jackson is who we're talking about. The dual threat as a running/passing quarterback in the NFL. More running than he is kind of passing, but he's really proven himself and throwing the ball this year. Now, he has thrown for 749 yards through 3 weeks, 10 touchdowns, and only 2 interceptions. Now, with that also being said, he's ran for 243 rushing yards, and he has 2 TDs on the ground. And I know he has a 79-yard rushing touchdown and like a 70-some plus passing touchdown. So I know he's one of the first ones to ever do it in the NFL, if not the second behind Michael Vick. And, he is the second guy, just like Michael Vick, but I think he's even better. I mean, I didn't really watch Michael Vick growing up or anything like that, but Lamar Jackson is our Michael Vick of modern today era. And just to see the way that he's playing, everything he's able to do, I mean, I know he's not your traditional quarterback, but, you have to be willing to take a risk. I mean, he's my fantasy quarterback, and I've loved him every single week that he's played, not because he's giving me a lot of fantasy points, but because he's going out and he's playing and he's balling and he's not scared to play. Like, he knows that he needs to, slide, not to get hit, not take these big hits, things like that. But he's a smart football player, smart IQ, and he just knows what he's doing. He knows what he wants, and like I said, he's going to get that contract like he deserves it. No, that's it, man. That is it, guys. This is gonna be a short podcast just because Beagle isn't on here, so I can't really debate too much with him. But we're gonna go into our picks. Beagle, unfortunately, like I said, did not give me his picks. I'll have to write them down later once he gives me those picks, and then add up and do all that stuff later. But I'm gonna go ahead and start and dive straight into it. We get with week 4, the Thursday night game, which is actually going to be a pretty good game. I feel like it will be. Is the Miami Dolphins coming in and playing the Cincinnati Bengals? Excuse me, guys. I got to get ready for this. So, Tua is playing great. They are the only undefeated team in the AFC left. The Dolphins are playing great with the addition of Tyreek Hill, of Jalen Waddle. Now, Tyreek Hill didn't have a very good week last week. I know he did versus the Ravens the week before, but last week didn't really have many receptions or many yards at all as well. Now, with Cincinnati, Joe Burrow cannot stop getting sacked. He is one of the most sacked QBs in the league, if he's not the most sacked QB in the league as of this year. So the Bengals need to turn around. They need to do something and to protect that man because they know how to get to the Super Bowl. They were there last year. But if you're not going to protect that QB, you will not get there. I like the Dolphins are hot. I'm riding with the Dolphins. I think they're swimming. They're playing great. They're doing great. I'm riding with Tua in the Miami Dolphins. Now, not to say this won't be a close game, but if Tua can play his game and everything goes well, and he's able to play, depending on how his back feels. And I think, the Dolphins probably win by 10 to 14 points. But Cincinnati just has to get it together. Who they? I don't know who they are. They need to get a new offensive line. That's who they are. Then our first Sunday game, which is playing in London at 9:30 in the morning. Now, some people may be up for this game, may not be up for this game. I probably won't be. But it is the Minnesota Vikings coming in and playing the New Orleans Saints. I mean, I guess there's not really a home team here, but the Minnesota Vikings are actually playing not too bad, but they weren't able to get a win on Sunday night, or they played a primetime game last week versus the Eagles and got whooped 24-7. Now, last week they were able to beat the Lions, but by 4. But they trailed most of that game and were able to come back. And I had the Lions winning that game and kind of screwed me over on the pick. But anyways, now the Saints, they need to get it together. Jameis Winston needs to get it together. I think he'll find more of a rhythm the more the season goes on. But I believe the Vikings come out on top on this game. And I believe Kirk Cousins will have a bounce-back week. Now, you have the Seattle Seahawks coming in at 1 p.m., now regular kind of game on Sunday, playing the Detroit Lions. Now, Geno Smith and everything that the Seahawks are able to do with DK Metcalf and what they're able to do, they haven't been playing too bad. But I think the Detroit Lions get this one. I think they bounce back from losing to the Minnesota Vikings because they should have won, and didn't they just kind of fumble the bag? And I think they get it back on track this week. They've got a pretty good team, and they'll get better as the week goes on, as the season goes on. Then you got the New York Jets coming in and playing the Pittsburgh Steelers. As much as I want to say this is a coin flip, this isn't a coin flip. It is a coin flip. Just because, the Steelers on defense need to step up with not having T.J. Watt there on the defensive end. Now, the Jets need to continue to play hard, play well, and the Jets can win this game. But I'm going to go with the Steelers. I believe that Mitchell Trubisky plays well. Who knows? Maybe Kenny Pickett plays an appearance this week. I don't really know, but I think that the Steelers can get it done at home at whatever you now call their stadium, because it's not Heinz Field anymore. Then you got the Chicago Bears coming in and playing the New York Giants. Now, the Giants, it was a slow game versus the Dallas Cowboys on Monday night. Now, I feel like the Giants should have won. I had them winning, but they didn't really fumble the bag, but just didn't really go their way for either one. Sorry, guys, I have a cough. A little tickle in my throat. And now, I don't have the Bears winning over 7 games this year, but they're 2-1 right now. And I'm riding with them, and I think they win their 3rd game of the of the year. Now, I won't be picking the Bears too much because, like I said, I have them winning under 7 games. So they eventually kind of start losing eventually. But I do think that the Bears do win this game, and that they're going to continue to, have that success here and there, young rebuilding team. Then you go to AFC South Showdown. The Tennessee Titans coming in and playing the Indianapolis Colts. Now, the Colts were able to get a win versus Kansas City Chiefs last week at home for their first home opener. And I think they carry over in that success, and they keep the ball rolling. Now, I didn't pick the Colts last week because I was like, oh, it's the Chiefs, But somehow we always have some pretty good luck versus the Chiefs, and we're able to beat them, especially when they come to, our stadium. I'm not necessarily sure about their stadium, but I know that we at least have a little bit more success when we play them at our stadium. So the Tennessee Titans need to get their stuff together. With Ryan Tannehill needs to get his stuff together, or they're going to bench him and put in Malik Willis, who they drafted, that quarterback they drafted this year. And the Colts can stop Derrick Henry. I know we can't, and I know we will. Then at 1 p.m., you've got the Chargers coming in and playing the Houston Texans. Now, depending on how Justin Herbert plays, I know he's not fully there. If he doesn't play as well, I think the Texans can win this, but I'm going with the Chargers. Like I said, I still think that they can win, that they can still win the AFC West this year. Then you've got the Browns coming in and playing the Atlanta Falcons. I think this will be a pretty good game, but I think the Browns get it done just because of the way that Nick Chubb runs on the ground, the way that everything's been going there. Now, shout out to, that's not really a shout out, but, just kind of mentioning his name, Myles Garrett. I know that he was in a car crash and didn't get to play last week. I know he said it was, minor injuries or whatever. He's safe, so praise to him. I'm glad that he's doing well. So hopefully he comes back and plays this week. If not, that's okay, because we definitely understand that, coming back from a car injury, you need to make sure everything's right before you decide to, go in and start hitting guys, on the football field. Now, then you've got a NFC showdown with the Washington Commanders coming and playing the Dallas Cowboys. Now, I think that the Cowboys' luck runs out. I think the Washington Commanders get their stuff together, and they're going to beat the Cowboys. Now, I think Carson Wentz and everybody gets on the same page, and they're going to start, getting their stuff together. Then you've got the Jacksonville Jaguars coming in and playing the Philadelphia Eagles. Now, the Philadelphia Eagles are the only NFC team left to be undefeated. They're 3-0 as well. So the Miami Dolphins are 3-0 in the AFC, and the Philadelphia Eagles are 3-0. Now, who loses this week? Do the Miami Dolphins? I say no. I say they go into 4-0. And I'm going to say the Eagles go to 4-0 as well. But I think the Eagles are going to have a little harder of a competition because Jaguars have been actually playing pretty well, and they are leading the AFC South. I can't believe I just said that, but they are leading the AFC South, and they're playing actually pretty decent this year and getting all their stuff together. So I think it's going to be a close game, but I think the Eagles win by 7 or 10. Then at 1 p.m., you have the Buffalo Bills coming in and playing the Baltimore Ravens. Now, this could be a Sunday night game. Well, I'd say more of a Monday night game, honestly, for being honest here. But I think the Buffalo Bills, man, their defense is good. I know they had 5 stars out last week versus Miami Dolphins, so that kind of hurt them. But they still stayed in the game up until the very last. They honestly could have won that game if Josh Allen would have made the proper throw and not thrown it low. But the Ravens have been balling. Lamar Jackson knows what he needs to do. I think it's going to be his true test versus the Buffalo Bills on a really, really good defense. Now, with that being said, I think the Bills definitely still play good with Josh Allen. Everything that they're able to do on their offense, I think they'll be able to do pretty well. But the Ravens have a good defense as well. So this is going to be a low-scoring game, I feel like, probably 21 to 17 or something like that. But I'm riding Ravens, and I'm going with Lamar Jackson, my fantasy QB and the front runner for MVP. Then at 4:05, you have the first 4:05 game, which is the Arizona Cardinals coming and playing the Carolina Panthers. And the Cardinals, really need to turn their season around and really, start playing from ahead instead of behind. Now, that being said as well, the Panthers need to, start getting stuff together. Christian McCaffrey needs to start looking like he was looking like before he got injured a year or two ago. Man, some of these picks are just harder to choose because it's like, oh, I want to go with the Cardinals, but at the same time, like, the Panthers could do pretty well and actually surprise me. But I'm going with the Cards here. I think the Cardinals do well. I think, Kyle Murray got that big contract for a reason. You need to continue to prove that to me. And, without DeAndre Hopkins being there, I know it's going to be a little bit harder, but other guys need to step up and take his place. So I'm going with the Cardinals there. Then at 425, you got the Denver Broncos coming in and playing the Las Vegas Raiders. And the Las Vegas Raiders are 0-3. No one thought that they'd maybe be 0-3, maybe some people did. But last year they started out 3-0. So this season is a complete flip-flop. Now the Denver Broncos don't know how to close out games. Russell's having a hard time in Denver. I don't know the high altitude. I don't know what it is, but they need to get their season turned around. And until they do that, I think the Raiders win this game. I think the Raiders actually do turn their season around and get their first win of the season. Derek Carr, Devontae Adams, Darren Walker, I think they all get it together and get their first win this year. Then you got the Packers coming in and playing the Green Bay Packers. Did I say the Packers playing the Packers? I meant the Patriots playing the Packers if I said that wrong. But with Mac Jones being hurt and not playing, I think the Packers win this one pretty easy. I don't think I have to, really debate. I was going to a little bit, but, experience. Aaron Rodgers knows what he's doing. He's going to get it done. Discount, double check. Now, we move on to Sunday night at 8:20 p.m. We've got the Kansas City Chiefs coming and playing the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Now, I don't know if you guys know what's going on in the U.S. right now of what's going on, but Hurricane Ian or whatever its name is making its way in Florida. And just, I don't think the Buccaneers are going to be able to play in possibly Tampa Bay. So my windows are open. That's why you hear people driving by. Anyways, I think that this might be played. The Chiefs might play it at a stadium. I don't know if this game will even be played off. We really have no idea. We will just see later in the week. But I think the more crucial team that needs this win are the Chiefs. They need to stay above water, especially if they want to win the AFC West and, really have, that first seed. That first seed is really, really crucial because you get a first round bye. Any players are injured, things like that later in the season. You're really playing for later in the season. Now, the Buccaneers need this win as well, as much as, the Chiefs do. They need, they lost the Packers last week. They need to turn it around. Tom Brady hasn't been happy. He's brought 2 iPads so far, tablets, and just, Mike Evans being suspended last week definitely helped. He'll be back this week, but with Patrick Mahomes playing, could be the next GOAT possibly. No one really knows, but this teams have not faced in the Super Bowl about 2 years ago, so, this game could go either way. It'll probably be a little bit of high scoring, and I think the Chiefs will come out on top. If not, I think the Buccaneers win by 3. Now, like I said, I'm going with Chiefs, so that's what I'm doing. But when I'm making bets and parlays, sometimes I go 50-50, one here. So you guys know. Then our last game of the week 4 of the 2022 season is the LA Rams, coming in and playing the 49ers at 8:15, October 3rd. Now, I feel like this would be a good game. I feel like, the Rams and 49ers always playing each other in the division is normally a good game. Super Bowl defending champions, I know they haven't really been playing like it lately, but I think that they can versus the 49ers. But the 49ers have Jimmy G. He got paid, they've got their pieces. They know what they're doing. The 49ers, has had that offense for a while. So that's why I think this game will be a hard game, and I think this will come down to less than 7 points. Now, I don't know what the spread is on this, but I definitely think it'll be less than 7 points that it will be decided by. The team that I believe that's going to win this game is going to be the LA Rams. Now, like I said, I think this game can go either way, absolutely. But I think Cooper Kupp has 2 touchdowns. I think Matthew Stafford throws for 2 touchdowns and at least an interception. So maybe both touchdowns go into Cooper Kupp. Maybe he throws a 3. I don't know. But we'll just see what happens. Monday night, these primetime games are always different. They just feel different than actually being, a 4:25 game or a 1 o'clock game. Just because, they're just in the prime time, in the spotlight. No other people are watching any other games. These are the final games at that nighttime. They feel different. They play different. So you better bring your best A game, and let's do this thing. So that's it, guys. That is all for week 4 of the NFL Thank you guys so much for watching this video and supporting. Please like and share. Comment below your thoughts, and if you guys feel like you guys have like a special guest you want to get on here or anything like that, message me or on the channel so we can do that. With that being said, week 4 is a wrap.